Welcome one and all to another video. This is a TFNation video, and yes, this is actually a response to Adam and the TFNation crew. Adam himself did a blog post thing on the TFNation Facebook page, and it said YouTube may challenge, and there was a question that the TFNation crew, the people that are bringing us TFNation, they would like to see people talking about their misconceptions and fears of going to conventions, ComicCons, any sort of events. So that's pretty much what the question is. It's just asking, did you have any misconceptions or any fears for going to TFNation or any convention itself, Comic Cons like MCM, Comic Con, London Comic Con, etc. Or just anything in general, that any sort of event where you was dealing with being in a public environment. So I was going to do an update part to this video as well because of the last TFNation video, but I'm going to leave that completely separate. But yes, so getting on to the question at hand. So, did I have any misconceptions / fears of attending TFNation TFNation it was just a continuation with time, but my very first convention appearance was 2010, Auto Assembly 2010. Now, about the whole misconception / fear thing, I certainly had both of those. I had a lot of, I remember having slight panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Panic attacks goes into the same thing. And just generally just worrying about probably everything that's what I would call a trivial thing. Such as like, will the hotel still have my booking? Will they still remember me? Will the train be alright? Will the train get delayed? Everything like that, ridiculous stuff. And also, above all that was the misconception of will I fit in? Will people recognise me? Will people know me from YouTube? Will I be able to fit in? Because back then I'm a very, very shy person. Still am a little bit shy in some respects, but because going to conventions, it really has helped me, but I will get into that momentarily. But the misconception with me was, and the worry behind it was, would I fit in? Would I be recognised? Or will I just simply be walking around on my own, completely alienated, while everybody else was having a good time in big groups and so on? So that was pretty much my fear and misconceptions that I was going through at the time. So 2010, before 2010, I hadn't been to any conventions before. Literally, Auto Assembly 2010 was literally the first one ever for myself and my good friend Sam, because I've been travelling up to TFNation, Auto Assembly back then, and now TFNation. We've been travel buddies pretty much since then. But obviously since then we've had another tag along, which is Tony as well, since 2011, I think. 2011. So yeah, how did I find out about the convention? I'm going to just talk a bit about that as well. But I started doing videos, I'm just going to say this very quickly because I have mentioned this quite a lot in other videos. But I started back in about 2007 properly doing videos on YouTube. So I was doing videos on a channel called Nosy00, which was my original channel that is no longer available. I had to delete it for certain issues that arose due to mainly copyright problems. I did some earlier videos that got flagged, and yeah, long story short there. So I had to delete the channel because I was pretty much crippled, and I had to then make the channel that you're watching this on now. So yeah. But anyway, so back on that channel, I had been doing videos for maybe nearly 3 years before I actually attended TFNation. Maybe about 2 years, probably 2, approaching about 3 years, I'd say, something like that. So I didn't know about Art Assembly before at all. I had no idea that. I mean, obviously, I was a big fan of Transformers. I grew up with Beast Wars. The essentially G2 when they re-aired in the 90s, the G1 cartoon, but as G2. And then obviously Robots in Disguise, the Unicron trilogy, and obviously just the year before me really starting to make videos was animated. When all that aired, and then obviously the live-action movie that came out in 2007. Sorry. So pretty much at the time of me starting to make videos, it was pretty much alive because it was pretty much all dead space before. There was quite a while from the end of the Unicron trilogy, which was Armada, Energon, and Cybertron, and then obviously when Animated came out, there was quite a gap, and there was barely anything there. There was mainly just comic books, really, and obviously toys still, but there was nothing new. And Animated was kind of the thing that really reignited a lot of the fire and the passion with a lot of people. And then obviously a lot of people started doing toy reviews again, and YouTube just erupted with all these reviewers. And I was one of them, because Transformers Animated was actually Transformers Animated and the 2007 movie was the two main things that got me started and got me reeled back into it again. So I actually, through doing all that, like checking out other YouTubers, I met a good friend on there, and still am good friends with him now. Met a good friend called Sammy Skullgrin, and he was the one that actually pretty much introduced me to Art Assembly as a convention, and he forwarded me the website, and this was back in 2009. And so I checked out the website, and I thought, oh, this looks pretty cool. UK Transformers convention, fan-based convention, so on. This looks really cool. Some great guests. They had Greg Berger that year and Ian James Corlett, if I remember rightly, as voice actors. And I wanted to go because obviously it's Greg Berger and Ian James Corlett. I was like, I wanted to meet these two. But sadly, at the point of me discovering Art Assembly back in 2009, it was too late. They'd actually closed the ticket sales because I was actually too late. So we almost went to the 2009 one, but we unfortunately couldn't do it, and we had to just settle for going for the 2010 one the year after. So we finally get to October 2010. We pretty much the whole journey down wasn't too bad. So back then we went by train, and it was also the first time meeting Tony as well, because I remember watching if anybody can let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below, that rhymes. If you let me know in the comments below how many videos Tony did, pre-videos for TFNation, or how many videos he did in general back in 2009. Can anyone tell me? Because obviously Tony likes to see himself as a bit of the main light source of like the video thing for TFN. But we all really know he's not. We all really know, don't we? Anyway, so yeah, no, but yeah, it was basically back in 2009. I remember watching a pre-video for Tony, and he was just talking about how much he's looking forward to it. And then I think I watched a few other people's pre-videos as well. I think Sammy did one that year, and a few other people that went that year. And then I started watching Dave Kal-El Prime, who is still one of the committee members and the people that run TFNation at the moment. He was on essentially the he was on the the volunteer community volunteer group, and he was also the announcer back then as well. And he was like the ambassador, you could say, kind of like the YouTube ambassador. I don't know if he was but he pretty much kind of did YouTube videos along with Andy, Cobra Commander, and Ray, I Love Mess, I believe, did a couple as well. Pretty much just kind of getting it out there to people. They were kind of the first source of them trying to pretty much advertise through YouTube and to fellow Transformer reviewers and people generally like to Transformers. And it worked. It really worked, because it literally, the first 2 years of us going, 2010 and 2011, the hotel we was in, we practically filled it to pretty much to full capacity. The hotel couldn't really take us anymore, but there was also some other stuff that I will not go into here, because all I'm going to say is the hotel pissed off a few people. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the capacity of the hotel wasn't big enough for how it was going crowd wise, because we was attracting, Art Assembly back then was attracting a lot of people. So then I had to move to the Hilton where we are now. But back then we was at the Holiday Inn down New Street, Birmingham New Street. So just up Birmingham New Street, there's a hotel there, Holiday Inn, and I really liked that hotel. It was a cosy hotel, very chilled out. But let me get back on track with my little story. So yeah, pretty much travelling up there was fine. We get to the hotel, we check in, and the first 3 people we met back in 2010 was Jared, Wolfgang 1, Magic Man, Jamie Magic Man, and Johnny, Dwarf Porn Star, or Roddy Wave 666 as he's also known as. We met those 3. Literally just there at the desk. Obviously they'd already either travelled up, been there a few hours, or they came up the day previous to us, because back then back in 2010 we went up on the Friday, and then I think from 2011 we decided to go up from the Thursday, so that's where that came from, because back then Thursday was known as Day Zero, where a lot of people travelled up on the Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, and kind of had like an extended thing, and it started to take off pretty much, I'd say. It started to take off a little bit more 2011, 2012, when more people was arriving, and it became more of a thing where they actually eventually made Fridays kind of like an alternative day, and then Thursday or the day before was kind of like Day Zero, like the day where people are travelling down, kind of like a little meet up before the main big whatever going on, like the festivities and the events. But anyway, so there were the first 3 people we met, and at this point we was really nervous, incredibly nervous, and meeting those 3 kind of helped us a little bit. We felt a little bit more, just felt better, just helped us calm down a bit. So we went to our room, put our bags in our room, then we went to the bar. And all I can think of, and this feeling has stayed with me for ever since, and my body literally just froze, and I felt like it felt as if I'd walked into an invisible pole. That's all I can really explain it. And that sounds really stupid and funny, but it literally felt like I walked into an invisible pole. The reason why I say that is that when I saw the amount of people in the bar on that day, on that Friday, as we walked in, I just simply stopped in my tracks, and I physically felt it. I physically felt like I had just walked into something, but obviously I hadn't. And I froze. I just looked at everybody, and I thought, I recognise every single one of these people from YouTube. And then one by one, and little by little, people started going, "Oh yeah, Nosy, hi Nosy, hi Sam," and then we started getting like involved, and then people were coming round us and talking to us really nicely and getting us involved in in the chats. And I remember 2010 where I had a really great laugh with Jared, Dodie, I think Dodie was there that year. Brad, Bubs, a lot of the InGen crew I met for the first time. Pretty much everybody I met for the first time face to face. 2010 was pretty much the year where I met pretty much everybody, every major YouTuber pretty much. And also Raz as well, Razatron from Canada. I think he was there that year as well. And then obviously the guest of honour was amazing because I met Gary Chalk and Scott McNeil. And 2010 for that reason was just unreal. But getting back on track with what I'm trying to talk about here, but pretty much, yeah, I had massive fears before going. It was a big step forward for me because before that I hadn't really ventured out that far at all from home. Literally, the only times that we actually me and Sam both kind of ventured out anywhere was pretty much with school when we went to France, we went to Bruges and Belgium. And then obviously with my mum and dad, I've been on the P&O ferry. We've got something called a P&O ferry here in Hull. It docks at the Hull port, and it's just a little ferry thing that goes to like Bruges, Belgium, and other places like that. And I've been to Bruges, Belgium, and somewhere else as well. I've also been on the Norfolk Broads as well, which is kind of something else, but anyway. But yeah, so pretty much that is pretty much as far as I've ever been. At that point anyway. So this was a big step forward, a big social thing. You know, the whole social thing I never really did that much of. I only kind of hung out with people I knew from like school and college. Which, you know, so yeah, it was a big leap forward. But I will say this to anybody that are thinking of going to a convention or have been to conventions in the past but haven't been, you know, it's been a while, you know, do it. Take the plunge. And that sounds maybe a bad way of saying that, but I honestly would. I would invite anybody to just try it because it is an incredibly daunting thing for some people. Not everybody. Some people are lucky enough to have confidence and to feel good in themselves and to have that confidence to meet people and just do things, go places, do this, do that. There are some people that are lucky enough to have the ability to do that, but some people, like such as myself and majority of the people probably watching this video and people that go to TFNation and conventions, you know, they suffer from anxiety, suffer from confidence problems, all sorts of different sorts of mental health and possibly physical disabilities as well. Because I've met some people over time that have had physical disabilities and also kind of like learning difficulties and all sorts of different things like that, and other disabilities. So I've met all sorts of different people, and you know, it is with it being my first one, it was very nerve-wracking. But I do not regret going. I don't regret ever going to these conventions because I've been going to them ever since 2010. This will be so it's 2018 now. 8 years. Yeah, been going for 8 years. This will be my 8th year in total of going to this convention in Birmingham. So yeah, it's really helped me for the better though. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know, anybody that's a little bit on the fence about going to any sort of convention, whether it's a MCM Birmingham ComicCon, London ComicCon, TFNation, what have you, go for it. Take the plunge. I know it's difficult. I've been there. I know how it feels. You know, if you suffer with anxiety and also any sort of mental health or anything like that, depression, and just generally don't have any confidence in yourself, and I know how that feels. I've lived with those problems all of my life, and all I'm going to say is go for it, because I know I'm talking about myself here, but it generally will help you out. Since going, I generally feel much more confident in myself. Beforehand, I would not be able to talk to anyone that was a stranger. Like, if I had never met them before, I would be very on the fence, very defensive, pretty easily. It would take me a while to warm up to somebody that I've never met before. But since going to these conventions, I've met dozens of new people for the first time, made some great friendships, and met some really decent, brilliant people that all come together for the same thing, which is Transformers and whatever else that they like as well. 'Cause it's not just Transformers, it is a Transformers convention, but everybody has other likes and other interests, and that is the beautiful thing about this convention, is that, you know, say if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, or you're a fan of certain comic books, or you're a fan of cartoons, movies, so on, you know, you will find anybody that is willing to talk anything like that, as well as Transformers. That is a beautiful thing. And also, you hopefully might be able to mingle with the guests as well, because some of the guests come into the bar area as well. And it's just a really nice, chilled out, not stressful at all, just a very chilled out atmosphere with a bunch of really great, approachable people that will make you feel welcome. And the TFNation, what I will say, if you do have any sort of misconceptions, which is the point of this question, if you have any sort of misconceptions, any fears, any queries, anything like that, check the description below this video now. You'll find the link to the TFNation website, and also I will have the Facebook page. Either one, take your pick, but email them, email the crew, and they will almost certainly get back to you within, as soon as, and just voice your concerns, and I will promise you will get a response from a very dedicated and very professional team that are behind the setting up and the planning of these events of TFNation and so on. So if you want to come to TFNation, do it. Just do it. You will not regret it. You know, it will hopefully help you feel a little bit more confident about talking with strangers and being around people that like similar things to you. It helps a hell of a lot, and take it from me, I know what it feels like, and it's helped me big time. So I'm not going to talk about this too much longer. I've literally been over 20 minutes, but the point is, do it, go for it. Whether it's TFNation or any other event, go for it. Honestly, you will feel much better for it. And like I said, check the description below for the TFNation Facebook page and their official website. If you've got any queries, any inquiries, any fears, any problems, send them an email, voice those concerns, and they will almost certainly help to put you at ease and help you with anything, with travel information, anything to do with the convention itself. They will be able to fill you in with the gaps, and answer the questions that you need. So thank you very much for watching this, my friends. And this was a really great question brought to us from Adam and the rest of the TFN crew. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks to Ian for kind of pretty much, this is a response to him as well, my good friend Ian, ALF82. But anyway, so thank you for watching, everybody, and really can't wait now. We're about 2.5 months away. See you all there, the people that are going. So peace. See you all soon. Bye-bye.